My name is Lois Barth, and I'm a speaker coach and motivational expert. And basically what I do is I help groups and individuals thrive both personally and professionally. And I like using humor, energy, and science because I find that all those three things really allow people what I call create like really a laugh and learn environment, which is to me the perfect environment to create changes in your life. Procrastination is such an interesting thing, and I think it's largely misunderstood. Most people can berate themselves and think that they're lazy, and laziness is usually a very small part of procrastination. Most of procrastination happens out of fear of the unknown, fear of success, fear of failure, all of it, fear. And also not having put certain structures in place in their life, looking at things from an all or nothing. So I have these power principles that I have seen in myself and my clients have made a big difference. And especially when you're navigating uncertainty, like I'm coming out of college, how do I get a job? How do I look for that perfect internship? So there's many different tools. And the first thing is you've got to address your overwhelm. First from internal and then externally. So the first thing is, and I do a lot of mind-body exercises, and you can actually go on my web and see some of them. And I have an audio ebook called Your Life is Talking, Are You Listening? And there are several exercises in there. But the first piece is you really have to look at what are some of the limiting beliefs that are stopping you, that are keeping you stuck. And it's usually around the theme of like, it won't happen for me, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough. And you got to give those belief systems an upgrade. In terms of the external piece, a few tips. I say the bigger the learning curve, the smaller the chunk. So chunk things out. Looking for a job might look like an ominous task, and it could feel like that. So if you chunk it out and say, well, form strategic partnerships. So a chunk can be, I'm going to spend 30 minutes online at LinkedIn, put in a search, and see what contacts in my base in those industries can start to help me out. That's one chunk. Another one, I think we all fall prey to it, mass weapons of distraction. Facebook, Twitter, there's millions of them. Technology. It is a tool, not a weapon. It could be a tool to help you get to the next level in your career, build really important strategic partnerships, create a platform for your expertise, or it could be a weapon. You can go into the Facebook ether. So really be very intentional how you use social media. The other piece is what I call navigating your mental bandwidth, right? A computer has bandwidth. If you're going to put an intense amount of graphics on your computer, you're going to need more bandwidth, right? And you're going to need more RAM. It's the same thing with your mental facilities. You need to know how many things can I stack on my plate. I call it stacking and chunking. The thing I also want to talk about around stress, because there's a huge connection between stress and productivity, is there's something called eustress, which is EU, which is actually positive stress. And it's really the dynamic tension between where you are and where you want to be. So it's a lot about how we interpret stress. You could say, oh my God, I don't know what's next for me. Or you could say, wow, I don't know what's next. Let me use this time for exploration. First of all, I think it's really important to get a mentor. If your college has resources, which I'm sure most colleges do, and I know specifically Brooklyn College has excellent resources, get a mentor, get support. The other thing is you really want to look at not getting too broad in your job searching, but also not getting so specific where you're really going to box yourself in. So if there's one or two different industries, one of the things you could do is get an internship to really know, like you try on a pair of shoes and see if they fit. Ouch, they're a little tight in the corner. Maybe that job, maybe that industry isn't a right fit. And it's the same principle. The other thing that's really, really important is how are you presenting yourself? You don't ever want to dress in the way that warrants your position, but rather the position that you want to move into. Also, learning how to present yourself. From talking to somebody in a coffee shop to a networking event to a professional engagement, it's always your best self. That makes all the difference in the world. And come forth with enthusiasm, because guess what? It's totally contagious. Good luck. Bye.